Hi, Hadil. Thanks so much for joining us at Iran. You're a great user. We love you as a member, and you have so much to offer as an entrepreneur. We're very excited to have you speak on our platform.
Thanks for having me, Parva. It's always exciting to do anything with Oran.
Thanks. So, we're just going to quick introduction about you, and then I'm going to ask you to tell us about you. Hadil Obed is the founder and CEO of Khelo Cricket, Pakistan's first social hub for the cricket player. The platform has been instrumental in working on the development of women's cricket and building a community around it. Khadil, please tell us more about yourself.
So I was always somebody who was an avid cricket lover and a cricket follower. Surprisingly, I've never really played cricket, but I was very passionate about the sport, and I started off essentially as a sports journalist and used to write for a number of different publications, internationally as well as within the country. And then I sort of stumbled into Khelo Cricket.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty interesting journey. I had no idea.
Yeah. I used to write for Cricinfo and Dawn and Wisdom India, and it was a lot of fun because I used to essentially write really dramatic pieces from a fan's perspective about cricket and being a Pakistan cricket fan.
And is this like how you decided to sort of build a platform around it, Halo
Well,
Cricket?
yeah, I mean, definitely growing up, there was no such thing as women's cricket in terms of mainstream media. And it wasn't really something that we had access to or we really cared for. And Kalo Cricket sort of came about with
Yeah.
me speaking to a number of different schools and universities and trying to understand, what happens to their matches, what happens to their statistics. And not just for women, but for their boys' teams as well, to try and understand that after you're done playing the match and it's done and dusted, where are your records? How do you track your progress? And I realized that there was no such platform which would help support and develop local cricket talent on a grassroots level. And then that's sort of how the idea of Kalo Cricket came about.
It's very interesting. I honestly, it sounds like a different journey for you, especially considering that you're not a cricket player, but just an avid watcher.
It was
Is there
definitely
anybody
something out of my comfort zone for sure.
is there anybody who's helped you build it or was part of your journey that was instrumental?
I think the entire cricketing community is somebody who I could say has been very instrumental. They were very excited about the idea. When I first stumbled onto the scene, they had no idea what I was doing, why I was here. Why is this like random girl here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on like a Sunday to ask us a bunch of questions? There was like a lot of, suspicion earlier on, and people were, there are a lot of conspiracy theories going around, but they were really helpful. Every single player came forward, organizers, groundsmen, women's cricket coach academies, women cricketers themselves, their parents, and definitely people within the cricketing community as well. We had a few cricket journalists who really helped us and tried to write articles or speak to us or help boost Kalo Cricket in whichever way possible. The Nest.io was an interesting platform that we were a part of that sort of helped us also scale Kalo Cricket earlier on. Plus, we were lucky enough to stumble upon a few strategic partners who were helpful and gracious enough actually to take a chance on this random 24-year-old girl who was just doing something for the love of cricket.
I think passion always moves people.
Oh, definitely.
So, can I ask you, what do you think needs to change, or what needs to happen to help women become more involved in sports? I think that's something you must have seen or discovered over time, and it sounds like your journey has even shown the change itself.
So essentially, what being a part of Kero Cricket for the last 5 years and speaking to so many parents and kids, we realized that women's cricket is still such an anomaly. It needs to become more of a norm. It needs to be within your schools and universities. It needs to be part of the curriculum, the structure, the PE. You need to create that infrastructure for it. Instead of me having to go and hunt for women's cricket teams, it should be that weekend cricket matches have amateur women's cricket teams playing as well as boys cricket teams, mixed matches, just women only matches. And that's not really something that's happening right now on a lower level. Yeah, sure, you
Yeah.
have academies and you have girls playing cricket, but they're far and they're few and far between essentially, because what's happening is there's a certain segment, or there's a certain 50 or 100 girls in a city which are playing cricket, and they're the same girls who are also featuring on a Pakistan level, and then the same girls featuring on an academy level. So you're not really broadening your scope, because you're not opening up those opportunities for girls to actually see that, hey, could I be a good bowler? Could I be a batter? What are my capabilities? So until we don't build that infrastructure, it's going to be hard to actually encourage more women in the cricket fold.
What do you think can be done for that? Any thoughts?
So I think that is sort of what Khelo Cricket is essentially, is that we are trying to create those opportunities. We are trying to create an environment which is safe for men and women to play and excel at the sport. We're trying to encourage more women in sports, whether it's as content writers, whether it's at coaches, informing women that cricket can be a profession or something you love as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be, either you're doing sports or you're doing studies, which is something that I think a lot of women are faced with within sports arena and within sports and universities.
I think it's just what you're talking about is a mindset change overall, right? Like women need to feel empowered, and that's something that we're also always working on. Feeling of empowerment to really believe that you can do what you want, right? And this whole last month for us has been, how do we, in the next few weeks, is about how can we show that the community around us is there to empower. And so, what I wanted to also then get into is your own support system, right? You've had a great support system, I'm sure, to help not just Khelo Cricket, but your entire, your career and the work that you do, and to support what you want to do for women. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So I think that what really helped me, and for me as a support system, it was always great that I had a lot of very strong women figures in my life. And I think that has always made me believe that there's no field that is meant for a man. There's no area that is specifically exclusive. It can be a male dominated field, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a trailblazer in it. And I think that having an older sister like Sharmeen, having having my other three sisters, being in women in textiles, which is also another male dominated field, and sort of, having friends who were in positions, whether they were lawyers or doctors, or in positions where, you felt like they were able to achieve so much, and it sort of gave me that strength to also believe that I can also do something. And it didn't matter if there were taboos. It didn't matter if, we got a lot of threats. We got a lot of people knocking on our doors and saying, what are you doing? Why are you having women's cricket tournaments in Ramzan? This is blasphemy. This is horrific. This is, this goes against our value system. And even so, we pushed against it. And I think because I always had the support of my family, and because I always had the support of the women cricketers, their parents, the community in general, it helped me propel it forward without ever having many doubts.
That's amazing. It's exactly what we're saying, stronger together, having the support system. We've been talking to a bunch of ladies, and I think what comes out as a common thread is when you're surrounded with stronger people and people that you can look up to, it really makes a difference to being a trailblazer yourself, or to make that difference. But we all have to find that person around us. So I'm just going to ask you one last question, which is, any last thoughts for our audience? You are an Naran user as well, but just, about women empowerment and finance and saving, any last thoughts?
I think there is no situation in the world where a woman should not be financially independent. And I think that when you are financially independent, you give yourself choices in life. And you should always have those choices. Whether you're married, a mom, single, a student, having your own finances, being financially independent, gives you the platform to do the things you want to do without seeking permission from others. And I think as a woman in this country, knowing how many barriers can be there, whether you want to go for higher education, whether you want to have a job, whether you want to work after marriage, no matter what you have to do, if you are financially independent, you can allow yourself to make those choices without being dependent on any other being in your life. And I think that is very, very important.
Thanks, Adil. So well said. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for the interview.
Thank you so much, Farwa, for having me, and happy Women's Day.